Magavan and Kamal, it is I, folks, once again, and today we have the integral from 0 to infinity of x to the minus s times psi sub k of 1 plus x dx. K here is a positive integer and s is a complex valued parameter with real part between 0 and 1. So this thing looks like a melon transform-like integral, and what is the function psi sub k? Well, that is the polygamma function of order k. Okay, cool. So in order to solve this, the first thing we should do is unpack this polygamma function. And the digamma function actually has this really cool series expansion for digamma of 1 plus x. So that is negative Euler-Mascheroni constant plus the sum over n from 1 to infinity of 1 over n plus 1 over, rather minus 1 over n plus x. And from this series expansion, we can generate the series expansions for all other polygamma functions by simply differentiating this. For example, if you want the trigamma function, that is psi sub 1, polygamma function of order 1. Wait a second, order 2. This is order 0. I think that's what the digamma function is called. Yes, indeed. Anyway, so trigamma, or psi sub 1 of 1 plus x, would be sum over n from 1 to infinity, two negatives canceling out, and we have 1 over n plus x whole thing squared. On the other hand, for the polygamma function psi sub 2, we have the sum over n from 1 to infinity, negative 2 because of the power rule, 1 over n plus x cubed. And similarly, for psi sub 3 of 1 plus x, we would have negative 2 times 3, which would give me two negatives canceling out because that's a negative 3. And so that's 2 times 3 times the sum, terribly sorry about that, over n from 1 to infinity of 1 over n plus x to the 4th power. And this can go on and on all the way to psi sub k of 1 plus x. And that would yield a factorial, obviously. And notice something, that when the index is odd, we have positives, and when it's even, we have negatives. So that means we should have negative 1 to the k minus 1, I believe, so that the odd powers, the odd indices k, that is, the odd values of k, give you even powers. We should have a k factorial term, and then we should have the sum over n from 1 to infinity of 1 over n plus x to the 1 plus k. So this is really cool. We have k minus 1, k plus 1, and k all in the same expression. And now we need to plug this into our integral. So this implies that the target integral I, in this lovely looking olive green color, is the integral from 0 to infinity of x to the minus s times the sum over n from 0 to infinity. Wait a second, I should probably write out the constants with it. So that's negative 1 to the k minus 1 times k factorial times the sum over n, and that looks slightly more horrible, much better, sum over n from 1 to infinity of 1 over n plus x to the 1 plus k dx. So I'm going to rewrite this thing by switching up the order of the operators so that we have the sum over n from 1 to infinity of the integrals, and wait a second, I should probably factor out this negative 1 to the k minus 1 term along with the k factorial term, and we are left with the integral from 0 to infinity of x to the minus s over n plus x to the k plus 1 dx. And this is quite nice because I can invoke a transformation, or I could first factor out the n term, so that we have the sum over n from 1 to infinity of negative 1 to the k minus 1 times k factorial, which, mind you, is independent of the index variable as well, so I could just take it outside the summation operator in the next step. And we have the integral from 0 to infinity. I'll factor out n here so that we have n to the 1 plus k, I believe. Yes, indeed. And we have x to the minus s dx over 1 plus x over n to the k plus 1. Okay, cool. So we can now introduce a transformation that is letting x over n equal t, and this further implies that dx is equal to n times dt, and this does not affect the limits of integration. So this implies that the target integral I is now -1 to the k minus 1 times k factorial, which I will probably forget to write out at one point. It's outside of the sum now, sum over n from 1 to infinity of 1 over n to the 1 plus k times, what exactly? Oh yeah, integral 0 to infinity, x to the minus s, so that should be n to the minus s, t to the minus s, over 1 plus t to the k plus 1. Then I have an n dt term. One of the n's cancels out. And then we're left with something that does look pretty damn neat. So we have these k terms outside, k minus 1 and k factorial. And we have the sum over n from 1 to infinity of 1 over n to the s plus k. I shall write this. Integral 0 to infinity, t to the minus s, terribly sorry about that, over 1 plus t to the, what exactly? Oh yeah, k plus 1 integration with some disrespect to t, like my good friend Miguel Santiago would say. So this looks interesting, but the integral we have over here is actually a very special function. Yes, this integral is a treat in special functions galore here, and this is why you guys subscribe to the channel anyway. This is why you guys watch the content. This is why I make the content for special functions, of course. Anyway, so what do we have here? Oh yeah, the beta function with complex arguments u and v is the integral from 0 to infinity of t to the u minus 1 over 1 plus t to the u plus v, my most invoked version of the beta function, the cousin of the gamma function. So in our case, we have u minus 1 equal to negative s, implying that u here is just 1 minus s. U plus v is equal to 1 plus k, which implies that v here would be 1 plus k minus 1 plus s, cancellation, so that is going to be a k plus s term. And all of this implies that the target integral I is just -1 to the k minus 1 times k factorial. That is a horrible looking k over there, much better. What are we left with? Oh yeah, the sum over n from 1 to infinity of 1 over n to the s plus k. Looks absolutely dope. And then we have, oh yeah, the beta function with arguments being 1 minus s and s plus k. Okay, cool. So this thing is independent of the index variable n, so I could just treat it separately. We basically just have a product, k factorial here, and the beta function can be expanded in terms of its cooler cousin, the gamma function. And that is going to be gamma of the first argument, gamma 1 minus s, gamma of second argument, s plus k, over gamma of the sum of these two arguments. That's our u plus v term anyway, that we remember is 1 plus k. And the cool thing is the k factorial is actually gamma 1 plus k, so we can just cancel these two out. And we do have the sum over n from 1 to infinity of 1 over n to the s plus k, which is yet another special function. It is, yes, the Riemann zeta function. So we have -1 to the k minus 1 times gamma of 1 minus s. And I know what you're thinking. You wish that there was a gamma s term lurking about. That's why we introduced gamma s, but to maintain equality, we must divide by it as well. And we have this gamma s plus k term over here looking bloody gorgeous. And then we have this zeta function, the zeta of s plus k, which looks absolutely dope once again. So this implies that my target integral I sorts out to, wait, this is the reflection formula, correct? Recall that gamma s times gamma 1 minus s is just pi over the sine of pi times s. And all of this implies that your target integral I converges to -1 to the k minus 1 times pi over sine of pi s times gamma of s plus k times the zeta function evaluated at s plus k. This is a stunning result. It is absolutely beautiful. And it turns out I've forgotten one of the terms. How could I? I mean, seriously, we needed that term. That's gamma s plus k over gamma s down there in the denominator, of course. How could I have done that? Zeta of s plus k, and again, this is an absolutely gorgeous looking result. I might as well just write out the integral completely because it looks dope. X to the minus s psi sub k, look at that, polygamma function of order k. This respect to x because I'm neglecting the dx term, but we all know we're integrating with respect to x anyway. Look out for the timestamps. Beautiful result. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. See you next time.